These are badass fragrances for men. They pack a punch. They are either extremely masculine and they just have that unforgettable scent, or they are super different. Let's start with one of my recent favorite releases from Isaki. This is a must try in my opinion for men. It is I think the best release to date for like the last 5 years. Le Sel d'Issei, Isaki. This fragrance, first sniff, love at first sniff. This is extremely masculine, seaweed, saltiness, marine-like. You just feel like you're surfing. You are this guy with a six-pack. You are just the sporty individual, even though you might be like a person that sits at the office all day and has a beer belly. This is this fragrance that will just make you feel alive. It's super attractive. If you're a big fan of Acqua di Gio, or maybe you loved the Bulgari Acqua Amara line, this will be right up your street. It's got that incredible marine, just seaweed strength to it. It's super cool. And to me, this is something, if you're into designer fragrances, go and try it. It's spectacular. You won't be disappointed with it. It is just badass. You'll smell like a man, not a boy, a man. Next up, we've got a fragrance that packs a punch. It's super badass. This, to me, when I smell this fragrance, it's a guy with a cigar just lounging in a place with loads of leather chairs that are just all worn in. He is having a bit of cognac, and this is that fragrance, Beat Cafe from Juicebox. This is just so seductive, so big energy. You've got power. Like, this fragrance just is a badass power move of a fragrance. It reminds me of Oud Malaki or the Blazing Mr. Sam from Ben Halligan's, but it goes even more into that boozy, really dusty, woody sandalwood place. It just goes to town. It has got, I would say, like Texas energy. This is the Blazing Mr. Sam, but with like Texas energy, done everything big. It's an amazing scent, and I would just say that you'll be missing out if you don't try this. This is such a badass scent. Next up, it's a fun one, super badass as well. This fragrance, if you didn't know, I'm Polish, and this fragrance is from Poland, and it's called Polish Potatoes. How do you think this fragrance smells like? Super fun. I mean, imagine somebody asking you, what fragrance are you wearing? Polish Potatoes. Not only is it quirky and fun, but also it really is different. I love how this fragrance, it has got this starchy potato earthiness to it, but also it's got oud, golden glimmering honey, it's got pine, it's a very dark. This fragrance reminds me of like Marvel TV series that is all about like dark powers. It is very earthy. It also reminds me of the vibe of a lot of Nasomatto fragrances. You've got just this cannabis, like almost like this earthy bitterness. You've got oud, you've got that potato starchiness, you've got a bit of beetroot in here as well. It is super badass, really unique, but not too odd as well. The name might suggest, I was a bit apprehensive, like this is a bit too odd, but it makes the reference to Polish potatoes, but it's not a full-on weird like potato scent, but super cool, really different. Boho Boko Polish potatoes. Next up, we've got Musk Milano Tango. This scent is again a big statement. This is not something that you wear if you don't want to draw attention to yourself. You spray a ton of it on and really just embrace it. It's loads of cardamom, cumin, it's ambery, it's warm. it just has this really spicy but dry quality to it. It's almost like sticky, syrupy as well. It's got loads of benzoin, guaiac wood, and rose to it as well. It's super fragrant. It smells a bit like Turkish Delight to me. It's a opulent, just loud, intense, niche fragrance that to me smells really sexy, really sophisticated. So to me, this is badass. This is something that you wear to just feel like that. The next fragrance is another like polar opposite. I go from sweet to fresh because I think that's what my nose just finds the most attractive on a guy. This next fragrance I adore. Like, why don't people wear this fragrance more? Why isn't this fragrance more popular? This is such a good badass fragrance. It's Milazim Imperial from Creed. I adore this. This is so intense. This is the sea. It's just super aqua. It's patchouli. It's cold. It's hyper masculine. Oh man, this fragrance, it's like the most elevated Versace pour homme that you could find. That's similar, just really fresh fragrance. They're not dupes, they're not like 100% similar, they're like in the similar family, but the scent itself, it is just masculinity in a bottle. It's badass. It's perfect for a summertime because this has got that freshness, but it's also not a light and fleeting scent in any way. This just smells so strong, and it lingers as well. That patchouli scent in here, it really just lingers for the longest time on the skin because I have tested that one on my husband and I absolutely love it. Oh. Next up, next up, we've got a fragrance that literally the name is born to stand out, the brand, and it's Drunk Saffron. And this stands out. It is standing out in a badass way. This is not a fragrance that everybody will 100% love. This is not a crowd-pleasing fragrance, but people who are into fragrances, they will be giving you a thumbs up. They will just love it. This, it's such an explosion in your nose of every single note. It's so badass. It's really strong. This ambroxan, plum, saffron, leatheriness. It's just so super spicy. It's also boozy with the cognac in here. It's just such a powerful saffron, boozy, plum fragrance. Wow. In the air, it's absolutely just, you can't think of anything else. This is something that you just spray everywhere and you go somewhere and you dominate with your scent. And I think it's so badass, so cool, and I love the name, Born to Stand Out. Let me know if you've tried more fragrances from this brand, because I've heard that the rice fragrance is really nice from them as well, and I want to buy a few samples. So let me know if you've got any recommendations. Next fragrance that is super badass, just straight in your face. I don't care what you think. It's Black Lacquer from Tom Ford. I will just say it again. This fragrance, it is phenomenal. I appreciate how they didn't care about sales with this, I don't think. They just released something that somebody out there thought it was cool, and I totally agree. This is not something released to appease the masses, and this is what we often in the community we moan about, like, oh, another Acqua di Gio, oh, another something flanker. No, this is something that probably will get discontinued because it is not for the masses, but for people who are super into scents. They'll smell it and they'll buy like tens of it because it's so cool. It's just really peppery. Oh, it's so good. Really dark, smoky, peppery, woody scent. It doesn't have any sweetness in here. It's so just straight in your face. I'm here to stand out, to be really different, and I absolutely love the scent, and I find it really sexy. I don't know about you guys, let me know if you've tried Black Lacquer. I find this really extremely sexy because I think there is certain confidence that comes with a scent like this. You just wear it because you love it personally, and you just come across like only a person who's super confident in themselves and in their taste would pull off a scent like this. But personally love it. If you like Comme des Garçons fragrances, I think you'll also love this because it's got that black pepper explosion as well. Let me know what is the most badass fragrance you've ever tried that you maybe even you don't wear it yourself because you think, oh my gosh, it's too much. But what do you think that fragrance is? I'll link all of these in the description for you. Follow this channel for more, subscribe, and I'll see you in the new one very, very soon. Bye.